What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 211, being recorded on May, 24th, 2023. I am your host, Darth Mooch. I've got Grand Admiral Franz here.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Look at that clear voice he's got protruding out of the microphone.
The mic's working because I had a power outage and it reset my whole computer system. So yeah, mic's working good today.
Sweet.
Sometimes that's all it needs, right?
I got
power
nothing.
surge. And we've got Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey, yo. What's up, nerds? Hey, guys, what's up? I just wanted to throw it all out there for everybody.
Yeah, no problem. We had to delay because we're three of us today holding on the fort. Joey and Scott might be here coming in like a wrecking ball, just bombarding us. So mid sentence. So I apologize if that does happen. But they are expected to show up. But before we get into all of that, you know what? I don't know if anybody has the list of our Patreons, but
why do we never do that when we never have?
Oh my god!
You know what? Just put up the picture of it, and I'll read it off from there.
Okay, let's see if I have. Okay, yeah,
that's our easiest way. There you
go. Go for it.
A special shout out to the amazing Patreon crew that we got going. Thank you guys for supporting and being a part of it. If you'd like to help us out and support, please become part of our Patreon. There are some special benefits, and they do receive it, just like AJ from the Forbidden Panel podcast, Cliff, Brandon and Anya Epler, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Skate Pod podcast of the Red 5 Network, Eric Grubb, Fanboy Mike, Flavy Davey, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Nicholas Schaefer, and Matt Logic, and Ryan and the Star Joes podcast. Thank you guys so much for being a Patreon. And if you'd like to do so, just take a quick pic of that QR code that we have there, and you too could be on the list and have your name read by the one and only Fallen Fett.
That's just right.
Saying.
I like
just
that.
Saying. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it tickled me. It was nice.
It did tickle, right? Yeah. We're trying to keep it upbeat, guys, because I don't think we're gonna have a very, very good upbeat show as far as the news and stuff going on. But I see our pit is just blazing through. So I'm gonna go ahead real fast and shout out Gordon and Santo 1414.
I'm like, is my chat delayed? When you said that, I see Gordon and Santo.
Yeah.
There are people
it's cool.
hanging out, but they're not in the pit speaking up yet.
We got the pit, everybody here, Facebook Live. They're watching on Twitch and Twitter. We're everywhere right now, so it's really hard. But we want to say those main people. I mean, we got Gordon. We got Santo 1414, at Darth Moocher, at Grand Admiral Franz, the Fallen Fett, the Art of Scott Solo, Bootleg Joe 760, Fanboy Mike, and Force Ghost John are here.
That's right.
There you go.
All extended family.
Welcome everybody to the show.
Nice. Well, again, we're trying to keep it upbeat and positive because we got word that Ray Stevenson, who's just got into the Star Wars family on the Ahsoka series, playing Balin, right? He had passed at age 58 years old, and that's more disturbing to me than anything. Is not the fact that yes, he's one of the Star Wars family members, but like a 58, right? So, I don't know. I haven't seen anything as far as cause of death or anything like that, but it's just just
that he fell ill, but he wasn't. He was already in the Star Wars family since Clone Wars.
Oh, Gar Saxon was the voice. Yes,
yeah, Clone Wars and Clone Wars.
That's right.
He was another one who had touched a lot because Marvel and
he was in the
Star
Disney
Wars
family,
he did a lot. So that really sucks. He was in wasn't he in G.I. Joe as well too?
Yeah, he was Firefly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
I didn't watch that movie either. Bernie, don't worry about
I had it on yesterday, just randomly, and I forgot that, and I didn't even watch it. I just had it on in the back, and I put it on in the background, just put G.I. Joe on it for no reason. And oh, how funny! Maybe it popped up because of that, because it popped up on a recommended. That's probably why it popped up. I didn't.
Oh, maybe
people were searching it. Probably. Yeah. I like those ones. I watch them. They're not great, but I watch them.
I like the second one better than the first.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the first one. I'm waiting for a revamp of the G.I. Joe universe.
Yeah. Put him in Transformers, dude. I'm good. Put him in the same universe.
Gordon, such a great actor with a strong presence. 100%, man. Like it's like I said, it's shocking. And the first thing I did as I looked at, how old was this dude? And we don't know the circumstances behind if he was ill, or if it's natural causes or whatever. But
it's too bad.
It is too bad, man. It really sucks to have something like the Ahsoka series coming out, and he's in it, and he was so excited about it, like he was like pinching himself. I'm in live action Star Wars, and the thing that I get is like he's never going to see the reaction. He's not going to see the the contribution.
And it's probably going to be pretty big, right? If history has shown us anything, right? Something after that, the performance is going to be looked at pretty well, and I was pretty sure he was going to be a highlight anyway, right? I've been excited to see this. He's been kind of a highlight in the trailer, the teaser.
We were excited as hell,
Got the new saber, so I mean, not to take it away from the sadness or something, but put it back in a boardroom, right?
No,
what do you do now? Or are they worried because he was only in the Ahsoka series?
Oh, right, yeah.
They could have finalized it there. So it's going to be interesting to see how it affects ripples through there. But I was so pumped to see him too, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, and the age-wise, it does suck, because when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can probably cosplay here. Right. If I grow my beard out, it's going to be great enough. If I grow it way out, put a hood over him. Well, that's a cool cosplay. Get an orange type saber. I'm down. So it's like one of those characters you're going to get. Us, the dark side folks. I'm going to get behind it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Travis Mitchell, welcome to the podcast too. So, Raven Stevenson was the guy in my childhood, was always blowing something up in a movie. Yeah. He was in Punisher. I remember Punisher Warzone. He was awesome in that. Yeah. A resounding presence. A bigger like. When I saw him being casted in the Ahsoka series, and when he came up, I was like, hell yeah. Like, that's the actor that you go, I'm glad he's on board, right? That's like those faces that you want to see. And it's I don't know, man. It's just like not a good week for Star Wars in general, as far as,
the thing with his passing is too, though, and how exciting he was. I always take that as a good thing, because then like he got to do it. We don't know where it would win or anything. But he got to do it, and I'm going to look at his performance more of that way of when it happens. Of cool, this is how he went out. Almost like a final memory, because they do shoot stuff all over, so we don't know what else could be out there.
Look at Carrie Fisher; they made a whole movie around.
Yeah,
don't get me started. I watched that over the weekend. There's only so many times they can use the lightsaber passing scene. Right, I swear to God, it's 4 times back and forth with Rey.
It's true, man.
Just reversed angles. So let's not do that with Stevenson.
Or a somber look, and exactly. But, I agree with that.
Yeah, but that's a mess.
Yeah,
58. We're not all far off.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It got I know that. Look, some of us maybe nobody in this room, but some of us are 10 years away from that, and that really hits a little bit like. Sorry, I have to. That's my
slap Scott right upside the head.
It did, right?
Yeah, I'm only 13 years.
Yeah, Gordon said he was watching his interview during Celebration. He was so excited to be in a live action series. That's the thing, right? It's like one of those things that we all would love to have in our biopic at the end was like, I was in a Star Wars something, and at least he accomplished a lot, but for us in our world, that's the pinnacle of making it in life, being cemented as a character that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about his character Balin no matter what. I mean, we were going to do it anyway. It was just an awesome character already.
You're right. That does immortalize him more than anything else, because that kind of stuff does live. I mean, we just saw Peter Cushing's birthday was here too, right? And Christopher Lee's. We talk about their characters all the time still.
Yeah.
Not necessarily any of their other characters. We don't talk about Dracula or whatever, anything like that.
No, it's true.
But we talk about Dooku and Tarkin, and that's how it's going to be with Balon now.
Yeah, there's a face. There's a name now. There's an energy to it now, and his family better be proud that he's. I'm sure they are. They must be proud that he's leaving. Even a short-lived legacy, he's still leaving a legacy. So that's that's one of those things. You know, like I said, I don't really kind of react to a lot of celebrity deaths and stuff because like I don't know them as people and stuff,
Right.
you know. But again, it's the age thing that really gets like, man, the guy was just starting to live. Like he was just starting to. That's because we're closer to that age. So I'm like, I got to start living.
Yeah. No, there are very few celebrity deaths that hit. Carrie Fisher hit.
Right.
You know, that's probably the hardest one a celebrity death that I've ever seen for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure when Luke or when
Mark Hamill,
or
Harrison.
I'm just gonna go through that
He's
character
Luke,
names, right? What a dick. Or George Lucas, right? Those would be the ones where you're like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know we always take comfort as our reactions or what we're watching on TV and the world's going on. They're doing the same thing somewhere else, somewhere in the world, and it's funny to not have that. Like we've never met George Lucas. I'm sure he, you know, it's one of those things, but he's here. He's there. You know. And
I go to bed at night feeling safe that George Lucas exists somewhere. So in case ever needed, he could be called upon to direct or write an episode of something.
That's right.
Save the day.
The back
once he's gone.
Friendship.
Yeah, once he's gone, man, we don't have any kind of escape path, no kind of red button to hit. It's just not there.
What are all the other podcasts going to do? And we're like, George Lucas is taking over.
Right. Or when Kennedy kicks it, man, what are they going to do at that point? That's
funny. Michael is here. Federation for Live. Great stream earlier, guy. Thank you. That's Ernie always bring in the energy levels and it carries over to this show, man. It's really a lot of fun. So I love it when the Federation comes over.
Yeah. Thank you guys for hopping on, man.
Yeah. Travis, Mike, Mitchell again, Punisher, the other guys, G.I. Joe. I forgot he was in the other guys. G.I. Joe Retaliation were staples for me as a younger teenager. Yeah. Other guys are still great.
He was in the other guys?
Yeah, he was the bad guy. He was one of the bad guys. The Australian. He played the Australian.
Yeah, that's right.
That went after.
That's cool.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Like Chris said, it's going to be interesting to see where the franchise goes. And well, again, nothing is out there, so nobody knows how to react as far as like the impact yet. And it's always feels funny to say that, right? Like, this guy's gone, but it's like, okay, but how do we do this moving forward? It's always
you got to think business wise, right? Because you got the sadness for him and his family, and that's sad. But when knowing how work works, it's just like, the first thing they're gonna do on Monday morning, because I've watched it. The first thing on Monday morning is, what do we do now?
Sure,
and
especially if it was a character that was supposed to bridge this whole thing. Sure, man.
Yeah, how do you avoid that? But I mean, in Star Wars, you could always off camera need a mask, do something. It all sorts of things could happen.
Sure. But in other exactly.
Because in this day and age, that happens a lot. I mean, we rarely get character recasts sometimes now from what they can do. So it's exciting to see the things that they can do now to carry on somebody's character out of it. The only one I can think of is coming up is Marvel cast Harrison Ford to take over the
he's the Red Hulk.
What's his name? And I found that crazy that they even did that right away. Okay, bring in Harrison, and I was like, wow, okay.
They had big plans for him already. That character they had to,
it's
right?
So hard.
Who are we talking about? I'm lost.
He's taken over. I lost his name right now with the red. He turns into the Red Hulk. The Hulk's general, girlfriend's dad. Help me.
Oh.
And he passed away as well too.
Yeah.
And then they immediately
was his last name Hurt?
William Hurt.
William Hurt. Yeah.
Recasted him with Harrison Ford is now going to be his character.
Okay.
And will take over Ross. Thank you. Thunderbolt
there you go.
Ross.
There you go.
Oh, there's Nebulous. What's up, Nebulous?
Welcome. Is there.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why. So I found that surprising. But that goes to they do a rewrite and that's about it. But
perfect recast though, right? I don't think I'll even notice it. Like Harrison Ford and William Hurt, I think on kind of the same kind of cadence attitude. As soon as I heard it, I started putting him in that spot, and I'm all shit. And I watched. I think I had watched it again. I'm all, you know what? I could totally see Harrison Ford in this gig and not even blinking. Honestly, probably even could have seen it from the beginning.
Yeah.
But he would never have done it for the whole time.
And also on that aspect, there's so much time in between that you'd have to be like, oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, that was William Hurt's character. It's like you had to remind yourself. It's not like a blatant change where it's like, wait a second, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time there to pass. So you can kind of get into that. So let's see here. Next down there, we're gonna Bondage Brittany's in the house too. We're gonna get into the Star Cruiser closing in Florida. We're gonna get into that and what it really means. But she does bring up a point just real fast. Is best thing about the stupid hotel closing is no more time wasted talking about a place very few both care about going and would have, and blow so much money to go. Yeah, I mean, we kind of debated that a little bit here, right? Are we tired of talking about this hotel? Because none of us.
Well, we bashed it in the beginning,
and we had our reasons why, like the whole concept of it. Besides, yes, we brought in the money issue and we brought in all these things, but to people who don't know, the Star Cruiser Hotel in Florida, which is supposed to be the immersive experience for like 2-3 days, you go in there. It's like $5,000 for a family of 4. You're supposed to go in there and stay at the hotel thing and do this checklist of events and try to role play. And on paper, I think it was probably a very cool idea. Disney always thinks outside the box.
Execution.
I think from very beginning, I think we were like, is this can this be sustainable? How many times could people go back, especially at that price? Or who wants to do that? You're already vacationing in Florida, spending thousands. Why would you do a 2-day side quest when your family wants to do other things? And I don't know about that business model, if it was going to be any like a sustainable thing. And one of the positive things is, and Disney did come out as quoted in saying this, is like, we're learning from what we did and what not to do moving forward, and how can we change this kind of experience. So growing pains. I always chalk it up to growing pains. I think there's room for something in that aspect. Either it's in the Disney parks or it's something by itself of a Star Wars immersive experience, interactive, but maybe not as final, like a 2-night stay and all your time is spent and you have to do this and you have to do that. And people walk around with flip-flops and crying kids. That's what really was like the known, denial for me. I was not going to do that,
Well, So we're at the point. Are they closing it down? What are they doing with it? Ernie, have you heard what's going to?
No, there's not. I mean, it's closing. As far as what they're going to do with it itself, I don't know. Because to me, from seeing it, from the pictures, from watching people's videos that were there, I still felt it was wrong all the way around. For spending that type of money and your comforts is what I'm saying is your room.
Oh yeah,
that was really like and I get it. I do get it. It was like a cruise ship room, which is bad because you're on a starship. Yeah. I get that, right. But then you should have led into the story of feel like how the luxurious live from Coruscant. Like this is the room somebody from Coruscant would get. You know what I'm saying? And you make your rooms more roomy and more okay. I think that would have worked better. I'm not going to pay $5,000 to go stay on a cruise ship type dwelling that's not anything with these shows in the middle, and that you're supposed to be immersive. We've talked about this from the beginning. I'm still with I can't believe you didn't have special days to go to Batuu yourself and at night. That could have kept you in your whole thing. Because like we said, then you got on a shuttle that took you to Batuu, but then you were at Hollywood Studios in Florida, with other people and everything. And then you went back to the story as you reboarded that ship to get back to your cruiser. I mean, so I get that, but for the experience, then, come, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday or something like that, Batuu should close at 7, and the people of the hotel who are there to experience it get it at night with them, and more show.
Yeah.
More characters walking around, more everything.
Keep that
price. Hey, let's try it. And that never happened. So there was a lot to take away. So how they can fix that, I don't I don't know, because that whole hotel was built on a concept. I mean, is this going to be the first one that we see tore down and restarted something else?
Scrap it and just say we're not even going to salvage a piece of this? Is that
correct? That's what I was trying to get at. Why not salvage a piece? And I get Nebulous Beast comment here about the taxes. What I was trying to drive at, is closing it down completely better because of taxes than just making it affordable.
Probably
call it $500 a night, $600 a night, right?
I said the $5.
Yeah. You know, do that thing to get your pass or whatever. Or even have to buy the pass separate, but you get transport in there. Don't do shows up in the hotel. Just put things like you would see in Batu. Put some animatronics behind things. You know, a couple of stormtroopers standing up where that show is, and do things like that. Just a little like Hondo and not him specifically, but like the animatronics around. Just have it work that way, and a couple cast members in the hotel like you would a normal hotel. Yeah, and just work it. I don't understand why that's so hard. Why did it have to be $5,000 and just stupid immersive? That it wasn't even immersive because you said flip flops, kids, and Bermuda shorts don't exactly look like.
It doesn't do it. To me. People are not that.
So don't make it immersive. Make it. We get excited when we walk into anywhere and they have like just pictures and things to look at, right? That's all we need is things to look at. Doc Ondars is a perfect example. I could walk around Doc Ondars, look at the wall, you know. So why not just do that in the hotel? I don't need to act on it. Just $500 a night, and I'm straight. We're good.
Yeah,
make your money back.
100%. Like there's a lot of questions out there, like saying exactly that. Like why did they just turn the knob down this way instead of just pulling the plug? And I agree, like pulling the plug and just demolishing it, like getting rid of it would probably be a better business venture than trying to just squeeze out whatever, like for, you know, they could put those resources and energy into like the initial plans of the parks. Like when Chapek, COVID hit, they only did like 70% of what they wanted to do in the parks. They pulled the plug on that and they said, no more money. It is what it is. And that's why you have bare walls and bare things and not the animatronics and stuff going on. So I feel like Disney is doing a lot of regrouping and backtracking. So let's do it. Okay. Admit that mistake, that Star Cruiser idea. Yeah. It's just at this time, it's not going to fly. You know, it's not the value just wasn't there. The repeat business was never going to be there. That was like a one-time, once in a lifetime thing, especially with the money. So take those instead of dialing it back and just like, you know, having a skeleton crew and just like a Star Wars hotel that you can stay at, put that money and energy back into the parks where it should be, because that's where people will
But the money is already in the hotel. It already exists. It's built. The rooms are
I know.
The Star Trek looking Star Wars stuff is there. It's already there.
That's a problem too. The aesthetics to me, when I saw besides the Rodian, nothing else screamed Star Wars to me. Nothing besides like the R2 astromech droid and the Rodian. That was it. The captain, the First Order stuff, it just didn't scream Star Wars. Like I had to be there. You know what I mean? Like I had to go, and I was like, I can go my whole life and never step foot at that place and not feel like I missed anything. And that's not something a Star Wars fan should say when you are offered a Star Wars immersion experience, right? You should be like, oh hell, this is something we need to do.
So Nebulous and Bondage Brittany bring up great points together here. We know about the tax thing. They have to scrap it. It's their fiscal year. They've had layoffs. This was pre-COVID. To me, it was just poorly designed, which is a bad thing. And that could get into the whole COVID thing and everything as well.
Sure.
Bondage Brittany is saying, I don't understand. And we've always said this. Why can't you revisit the old? And the sad part about it is Disney is never going to do that.
Yeah.
Because they've started their own, which they think is a moneymaker.
The Rebel crew now, especially.
Correct.
Right?
And that's what they thought was going to happen here. Well, I mean, the sequels is
too,
what they think of Rey and Kylo, and they just think that is their cash grab because of the name Star Wars.
Right.
We do, but now here's our point of, you know what? We don't do everything Star Wars, because we wouldn't put out for this. So the problem is they could have made a cash thing of revisiting the old, but they won't because they're doing this. And so the problem there also is they're too quick on the cash grab of thinking that the sequels weren't that popularity,
right?
Because of Star Wars, when it needs time to grow. So these little kids, they're still little kids that are growing that I've heard lately saying, oh, I do like the sequels. That's the Star Wars I watched. The ones that you guys talk about, that's funny. They look weird. You know, that's what they say. And it's like, it's still too young. We're the ones out there right now with the money and the able to do this, and you didn't make it look like the Star Wars we know. So that's always the problem. Batu and everything is great and it works because it looks like our old Star Wars. But the thing about it is the having Kylo and all that. How many times did we say, "Man, I wish there was a Vader and Stormtroopers"?
I wish I was Vader, and I wish there was Stormtroopers. And
correct.
Yeah.
And now
100%.
the most popular part is having Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Fennec, because again, that's Disney. Our Star Wars time. But that's our Star Wars time that this story is happening in. So it makes a huge difference in there as well too. And then that's the problem of it is it wasn't that popular yet. It's still not that popular for somebody to go out and get your I need all the Kylo and Rey stuff in this story.
And I don't think that will. I think they ended up doubling down on the Rebels crew and the Mandoverse here to take a.
You see it?
They didn't get it right. There must have been some kind of deal in the contract when they bought it because they only bought the specialized editions, right? The special editions,
right?
So it's like I don't wonder if there's some deal where those characters they make more money on their own character. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like,
a
Luke versus say an Ezra, they're gonna make more money on Ezra, or a Han versus a Kylo, they're gonna make more money on a Kylo because it's their character. I don't know what that would do with licensing on different stuff, but I bet that's something to do because they do push the Disney created characters, the sequels. They tried to. Now the Rebels crew coming into live action, and they already had the cartoon, the Mandoverse. They pushed that a lot more than the original. They just used the originals for a little fluff once in a while.
Yeah. Mandalorian it's a proven formula that's working in the parks and in the Disney Plus and in the shows. When you got the Mandalorian characters walking around Disney and you can't, and people, they almost had to shut things down because
when they come out.
Because there's too many people flocking to see Grogu or Fennec or Bo, or the Mando, right? It's there's got to be somewhere it goes, hey guys, this is what's working and this is what's not working. We're a business, so can we eat crow a little bit and not say it, but just kind of slowly behind the scenes go the other way with things like I said, Rebels. Maybe we'll start getting a revamp of like the Ghost Crew. Maybe we'll get a Ghost ride, a simulator ride or stuff like that.
That's what I see. I can see the Ghost Crew. I can see Hera walking around the park. I can see
too, man.
Things like
too.
that. Those are the characters you can see
guess
dressed
what?
up.
I just got
painted.
goosebumps with that. Okay, so it's like
Hera and Chopper are very easy to get walking around that park.
A Chopper would close the parks down.
And I want a Chopper that doesn't take a picture with nobody and just the whole time is like This is like the whole time, dude.
It's being a curmudgeon, just angry and pissed off. No. Oh, I would love it. Nobody's picture is ever good. And that's the joke. Oh, I love it. Chopper won't look.
So cool.
Nope.
Yeah. I would love it. You get close to Chopper and he starts to spin with his arms out. And it's just like
hilarious, dude.
Nope. I mean, get away. Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally get, like you said, they bought the Star Wars IP and they went they built a world around their creations. And for a long time, it seemed like they were just steamrolling ahead. And then, money talks. The generation stuff, like Ernie said, the fan base just isn't there for the new stuff. Like it's there, but it's not yet. It's not at the fanatic point of it.
Here's another good example. Star Wars Night has happened. And the most popular thing in Star Wars Night, it was because they had Luke, Leia, R2, C-3PO, the Cantina Band. Our aliens were out there. Ewoks, Tusken Raiders. Ahsoka is there. She had the Emperor was there. Had huge lines. And then the other huge lines were you had Padme and Anakin, which is now those kids are adults now as well too, and are like, oh my God, Padme and Anakin,
they gave it time, right?
That's what they grew up on. Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's the time. The time is not there yet for this to be popular because those kids are still kids that grew up with that Star Wars. So they're waiting for their next stories and everything to happen.
Well,
they're not.
And all I know is that the Rey movie better be great for their. I'm rooting for Disney on that one. Like I'm rooting for the characters to have oh my God! Now they're like these characters I can really gravitate to and relate to and be iconic.
As soon as Grogu relates to her and gives his approval,
there it is.
Then it's on, right? Like we said, we did that. They did that already when he healed when he healed Grief, and then she healed the snake a week later.
Right.
Everybody had to accept that. So when Grogu says it's okay and he's in a movie with her, everybody has to accept Rey. There's no arguing about it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing too is, they know what they're doing. They have to close down this hotel, right? They hear the backlash. They honestly do, but they know she's still a popular character, and they're still going to try and push it. But I think they're going to listen more now to
I think so.
Who's running Star Wars as far as Favreau and Filoni.
Well, you're going to
like
see it
as far as ideas, and not this. Hey,
Yeah, they'll never admit it, but
good.
You'll see it behind the
Correct.
scenes. Like you'll see more of this push, and you'll see like the new merchandise that's out now that just came out this week. It's all old school stuff. It's all A New Hope. It's all it's in it. People are, I mean, they're buying it like crazy, you know. And Nebulous B say, you know, why don't you turn into a water park one way out?
That would be awesome.
Hotel, that would be cool.
Yeah.
You get in lines of 50, like you're just loaded up in a loading zone, and they're like, go, and everybody has to
blasting
run
over your head, and you just gotta fall in.
And your cue while you're waiting to do that is you're putting together the parts for the Death Star.
That's right.
That's why you're going through line, and you have to stick with your group. And
full on slave labor before Disney. It's actually making.
They could already turn that hotel into that.
That's right.
That's the rooms. Take off the doors in all the front of them, and you just have open hallways and rooms with, you know, your crew walking up and down that take care of you for the night. Like,
right.
Easy fix.
Yeah, really
Rick
is.
Jones checking in. We got Rick Jones. We got Commander Cook in there. Everybody's in there. Commander Cook saying cannot wait for the Rey movie. That's, you know, I am too, because I want to see where it goes, and I want to see if I can, you know, like I said, you know, want to put these characters in my thoughts. You know, we do, but in the way of like, oh my God, Chris, I just came up with this great idea with, you know, Finn and Rey and Grogu and all these things, and just
we talked about those things. Grogu's going to be pushing 100 years old.
Yeah,
right, and that's when Yoda started training Jedi.
Correct.
So it's prime for him. Prime.
Yeah.
See, this is if Scott was here, the eyes would be rolling. Travis Mitchell saying, imagine Flea from the Chili Peppers starting chasing kids around the park, only to have the other employees say, we didn't hire that guy, but he's in Star Wars. You know, I mean, that's what we do.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I want it, but I do over the speakers. I want some instrumental Red Hot Chili Peppers music playing while he's running.
Just slap bass the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Gordon has a question for Ernie. Hey, Ernie, I'm headed to Disneyland on June 7th. Any pointers on getting into the cantina on Batu?
Yes, I will get a hold of you. I saw that, Gordon, and I will hit you up soon and go over everything with you. Absolutely.
Check your DMs, Gordon.
Yeah.
Ernie is sliding in them.
Yeah. Don't mind the pictures.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Remember, the pics are a bonus.
We talked about this earlier. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. But
the pics are
the first 7 are free.
Yeah. After that, and then I'll give you info, and then the other pictures you have to go on. Fallen Fett OF. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Fallen Fett Rising.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Well, yeah, I mean, I look at, like, I mentioned that the Star Cruiser stuff as bad news, right? And a lot of times I try to see the bigger picture, and I.
Well, it's definitely going to close, and that's what is bad news about. The bad news about it is that it didn't work. So it is technically bad news.
But failure's our biggest teacher. You know what I mean? That's
right. It's still Star Wars to us. Would we have loved to have gone there? Yeah. But damn, none of us couldn't afford it. We would have needed that invite. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And it is Star Wars, but it wasn't, right? I mean, they tried to force it. They tried to force it into canon, into books and stuff. It's like, all right, we got some stories and Batu. And here, not Batu, but on the cruiser. But which makes it's going to exist forever in our lore, like we just talked about, right? That Halcyon's always going to be in our lore now.
Yeah.
Problem is, it just icky.
Nebulous B said they do, like how we're saying they're going to shut it down. They are, but I mean, we're not like Vegas exploding it. Like you said, they will take this out and they put it in the cruise ships, because a lot of these cruise ships, you know, have Star Wars areas and like that. So they're going to redo it in there, and then hopefully they do listen to us again, and it doesn't look like Star Trek, and they turn it into looking more Star Wars. So I mean, they do repurpose. They do. It isn't like we're making it sound to be like they're just going to blow up the hotel or something and let's start over new. No, they do repurpose, and yeah, there has been tons of Disney failures in the past, and failures like you're talking about.
Sure. And
hopefully something else comes back for it.
I would want an evening experience, which is a couple hours. You get with your friend, like you get a group up, and You go there, they have costumes for you. Have almost like what's it called, Chris? The like the murder mystery dinners. You know, everybody has their little cue cards, and you have your character and something. But it's not just like 1 or 2 hours. It's like like 5-hour experience that you go and you eat. And, yeah.
Sorry, Bondage Brittany, you got to bring that up. They should shoot a new holiday special on the Halcyon, so it'll be double infamously funny to look back on.
You know,
like a whole new bad special just shot in the hotel before it closes down.
It could be the holiday special hotel. Just fill it out like a museum dedicated to the holiday special. So all the failures go there.
You know what's funny is as much as we hold dear to Star Wars, like how much we like just worship Star Wars and think it's like the best visuals ever. We do have some real like moments in Star Wars.
Oh, easy. Tons.
You know what I mean? And we still gravitate and we still love it and we kind of like laugh with it, like roll with the punches on it.
But I have moments every day of my life, so it's okay to have moments in Star Wars.
Well, the biggest moment on the house, it wasn't the house that the Star. It was their infomercial that came out before it launched.
Oh,
really set the tone to be like, what are we doing? Yeah. Like, where are the Imagineers? I thought Disney was like the Imagineer, you know, like.
See, and they took that idea that there was supposed to be at our Batu, where next to the Falcon, you were supposed to get that restaurant there, and they were going to open that up, and then they took it to the hotel there in Florida. Right. So again, as we're saying, I hope this bad comes good, and they look at it and be like, okay, somehow we do need some type of hut there.
Yeah.
Not Jabba. You can't have Jabba or nothing like that, but a hut, a new hut that has come here and opens up, because we would love that.
I'm
not
down.
The show that you showed,
down for that.
But we could do a restaurant type,
like a restaurant experience
with the band, with a hut there, and you see things happen. Like it does work. What you wanted, because that was the first thing that they had planned.
Right.
Was,
I did hear about that long.
It was going to be a hut and like that. Then they scrapped it and turned it into what was at the hotel. So this, hopefully, they would go back to the beginning and be like, okay, this could work this way, and then we get something like that.
That big door.
Yeah,
talking
yes.
about
There's
over
the
by
big door next to the
I
Falcon.
remember. Yeah,
that's a whole back area, and that was supposed to be the restaurant area. That ended up we got scrapped for it, and they took it to the hotel. Yeah. But then they changed the whole thing, and they turned it into that singer dance that you saw in the commercial.
Yeah,
that's what it was, and that's like, okay, what is this? What happened to a hut? What happened to,
like I said, they scrapped like cool. a lot of cool things. You know, I'm hoping that, like I said, you know, there's room in this world for Disney to kind of revisit it and take up stuff back. They don't have to come out publicly and say we failed. We know it by them closing stuff. And they, like I said, on the back end, they just start slowly, you know, seeing these things come to fruition. Some like Chris said, some, you know, animatronics, then some extra flavor, some flair, some additions, and eventually we'll get there. And then eventually that fan base of the sequels will grow up to be like, I remember those when I was a little kid, you know, and because I hear a lot of like the energy pacing of the original trilogy be like, that was boring, you know, they don't have that attention span like we had. That was our
that's how it is with my kids in the sequels or the prequels, right? Yeah. If you watch them 1 through 6 and it goes from 3 to 4, it's like a huge drop in energy. It's like a massive, and color and everything.
Sure, man. And I get it.
That's weak, you know.
And I kind of like sometimes when someone has never seen, like a kid, like I've never seen Star Wars, I'm just like, yeah, but like it's not gonna be as magical, you know, as like how I'm going to present it to you. So watch the prequels or watch the sequels or watch you know, and I just kind of take that and I just go home with it, right? It's like, yeah, I know you're not gonna enjoy the original
the way I do.
Yeah, until you're older, because there's a lot of deep things going on in there. It's not all flair.
Even then, though, even showing it to some, it's really hard because a lot of our love started when we were kids. Yeah. It was magic, and we have that magic whenever we talk about it, hear about it, see it, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So these people, to get that kid magic is pretty hard.
It is. It is, especially like, especially with Marvel around and DC coming around and a lot of other good stuff that like a lot of, you know, stuff.
Marvel isn't really good anymore
for us, but the kids still like, you know, flashy and stuff. And
I'm messing with you. Guardians 3 was good. Guardians 3 was excellent.
Guardians 3 was amazing.
I love Guardians, all of them. That's my favorite shit.
Amazing. The soundtrack was so good
every time.
And the only thing that it makes me do is another damn it Disney is we lost him, and he's going to DC. And I will watch a DC movie that he puts on first. I will.
Let me tell you something.
I will give it the chance.
Yeah.
This
and not just because we do a lot of like picking on Marvel here, Well,
you guys
we do. Ernie does. It's not that we don't like Marvel. Like honestly, I to me personally, I'll speak for myself. I love the first 10, the 22 movies that they gave. I love that the first 3 phases there. I thought that was epic in cinema history. But I always go like, if that was DC, oh my God, because I personally feel DC characters have a lot more depth, a lot more growth, and a lot more fantasy behind it, and a lot more danger behind it. And if we get that treatment, and if James Gunn is the guy to give us that treatment, even if it's a 4-year plan, I am like, come on, dude, we're in for a ride.
He gets taking a character and he gets the lighter side and still being a hero and complexities of characters. You see him work so many characters in Guardians, so many characters in Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, many different characters working together. You see how he can
watch that.
How you're a jackass. And then, but with him having doing Superman Legacy by himself and running the whole thing and the tone of it, I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how excited. But how weird is it for him to have like the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Superman?
Right,
those are his 3 big things. Like,
dude, I'm excited, man, and I've heard a lot of good things about Flash. So
the stuff that he does with Guardians is, I had anxiety, I was crying, I was laughing through my crying all at the same time, and it was all fine because the whole damn theater was doing it.
Right.
It was that good because he took everything from the movie, and you don't even have to watch the other Marvel stuff. If you watch Guardians 1, 2, and 3, like you got it.
All you
like that was his trilogy, and that's what I'm saying. I will give him the chance at DC because I lost it with DC with all their stuff. Like I said, I just watched the cartoons.
Wasn't good. Yeah,
the cartoons I'm good with all the time. I'm so hyped when I see a new DC cartoon is out.
Yeah, the live action was not even worth mentioning.
Harley Quinn cartoon that's a series. God, I love that show.
That's a hilarious show.
Yes, that is great. So, like that,
the Aquaman with the dolphin high five is still one of my favorite scenes in just about any cartoon. Right?
Bane is still my favorite. How Bane's they make fun of Bane and the whole "Is this my chair?"
That's a great show.
Bane is great. So I will give him the chance. It's good. And see, there's your thing of that took time, right? The Guardians, and we loved it. Yeah. Ours was a little bit rushed for our sequel stuff. We didn't have time breaks in there. That's the biggest thing that we talk about. One of the movies was next day. We've never had that before.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
There were 7 years in between Guardians 2 and 3 in the movie.
Yes.
7 years.
Yeah. Right. Which is great because you don't question it. You get character development. You in your head already saw, okay, these guys have been through some stuff together already. Like, you're saying it in your head as you're watching it and everything. And the end that Guardians 3 brought was so good and heartfelt and everything as well.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that they are doing so much in the future with the Rey movie. I am going to be excited about it because of where we are in Star Wars right now.
I want to see where they go with it,
on Disney Plus, and that we're getting a time jump for somebody else to have a chance and explain this. And I mean, we know that basically Ahsoka and all this that he's doing is supposed to fix this stuff. Mando, we've seen the whole thing with the clones and there's going to be some type of backstory there of the best that they can to help complement the sequels. So I hope that does happen. But of course, I am excited to hear it. You know what I mean? We're getting the time jump in the movies that are coming out.
Yeah, it's as much as I quote unquote joke around about decanonizing that. It's not that I know or wish they would do it because I always said from the beginning, just go with what you got already on. To double down on it and continue moving forward with it, enhance it, do whatever. As much as I joke around about. Like I want them to reshape the sequels and stuff. I'm still curious and excited to see where it could go. Like even the Rey story 15 years after the sequels, I am really curious to see that that energy or that story moving forward. Especially like what Chris said, like intertwining the characters that can intertwine that far in. I'm curious, man, and that's not like I'm not going in arms folded. I do want to see these characters because they're here, man. And it's not like
they were bad. They're not old. We can see them for a very long time. So use them while we got them. You made them. Let's use them. But let's just make it cool.
And like I said, the energy put into the sequels was extraordinary. Was the acting, the technology, the visuals. There were great. I mean, great energy put into the movies. It's just the story did not intertwine in a couple things. There's way too many holes. Way too many easy. Not even complicated plot holes. There's just way too many easy.
But they're fixing a lot of them now.
Yeah.
Right? But how about this? We talked about Grogu making things better for the future, right? Like for Rey and doing things. Would Thrawn? Now this is what I would think. Would Thrawn being the catalyst to get the First Order really going? Like he's the one behind this whole thing, right? Just get it going, right. And he builds it up, and he talks Exegol and everything else, and he told the Emperor about Exegol. If they have Thrawn setting up the sequels, does that automatically give more credence to the sequels to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, that was.
Seriously,
Ernie.
We need that, Chris.
Automatically, I'm like Thrawn did that. I'm cool now. They just need to fill in a couple of little holes. Now I know where everything happened. I'm totally cool. Yeah. If Thrawn was in charge of setting this up, I'm straight.
And I feel we're gonna see that.
We already are because of all
the little stuff that we're seeing. Yeah.
But it has to be specific, spelled out. Thrawn. Owns the First Order rise, that kind of thing.
And I feel with that, I feel we're going to see like the biggest screw job ever because we don't get Thrawn, that something's going to happen to him.
Like Snoke.
Emperor-wise, correct.
Yeah.
We're just like...
He served his purpose.
My God, correct. Yeah. And has the Exegol, has that whole fleet that we know could have been all Thrawn's that he was taking over, and the whole... thing is, Emperor takes them out or something to where like, geez, wow, I can't believe it. And
like Snoke is the supreme leader when Thrawn was supposed to be kind of like that mantle.
Oh shit! What if he comes out and at some point he is his supreme leader? Thrawn?
Yeah, like he's supreme leader Thrawn.
Oh yeah.
Snoke comes in, messes that up.
Yeah,
and I know people are not gonna like that, but it's the far as like us. If we view the sequels and we have all this backstory in mind, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
that was something. That was something that I always took as of course, was when we get that line of the Emperor does the Snoke, the Vader, and then himself. It was always me in your head. For me, that clicked and worked right away. Of okay, because of this whole story that we saw from one, he's planned all this. From killing Plagueis to the clone army, he's always been a step ahead in knowing what he was going to do in like that. So hearing that kind of gave me like I felt not an easy out, but it was I accepted it because that's the Emperor.
It was it was a logical explanation, right? Yeah. It was a explanation, and we go, huh, okay. It was nothing to think about. It was just like, all right.
But some people watching it were still like, what?
Sure,
what do you mean? But he's always had this. Like everything for him has always been in place,
and he screws everybody over along the way.
Correct. So that's what I would love to see, that Thrawn set this up while they were trying to make the Emperor come back and everything. Yeah, and then we get that.
I like that. I like the screw job thing.
Yeah, because screw job on Thrawn makes complete sense. Like who didn't he screw over? Right, screwed over Dooku, was trying to screw over Anakin, screwed over the Republic. Period. All the Jedi.
Absolutely.
Thrawn's the next one in the line.
Hit Plagueis. He's a Sith, man. He's gonna screw everybody over. So Thrawn's the next one.
I like that. And what I want to see is like I said, that Thrawn organizing that the Empire's come back as the First Order, as the Supreme, and then in the background the Emperor, Palpatine's already planning with the Sith Eternal, and then like I said, working with, but then that whole eventually I'm using you as a pawn, and Thrawn understands this. And like I said, if there was a cohorts of like the Emperor and Snoke to take over Thrawn to get him, Thrawn set it up because there's no energy over here. He set it up, and then we took it over. That's a huge that's something different in our Star Wars world, right? Like we had the rise and fall of great powers and stuff, and then we get to like the sequels, which kind of like started everything over. Here's the First Order, and here's the Resistance. It's like the same thing. This way, we get this. After that power vacuum, we get this internal conflict of the greatest power the galaxy has, no suppressive power or oppressive power, but it's a huge, inner war within themselves. It makes perfect sense in the natural order of things. Like the New Order can't, or the new
First Order.
The New Republic, can't just take over next day and just be like, it's our letterheads today. You know what I mean? It's like it has to be there's this huge power vacuum that they're gonna have to get rid of first.
We've already slowly started to see it happen, right? I mean, and so Thrawn is our logical way of going out. So the only thing that I needed added to that for sequels is I need to see baby Kylo. I need to see.
Yeah. We need to still see that Skywalker thing going on in the background. Yeah,
he should probably be 8 years old by the time Ahsoka comes around, so it's perfect. Yeah.
And see him with a Luke or even a Chewbacca dropping him off. Something of this kid's path was already started wrong. Like we knew, these angers, this fits, this everything that he feels and he coincides with. I want little shots of that to make it oh man, he's always been this way.
That's why I really want these. That's why I really want Balon and I lost the girl, the other one's name again. I want them to go after the children Jedi. To be that, I want them to go after them.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, you know what? Lando's book, or the book about Lando's story. Remember how he lost his daughter because they were going after the kids of the heroes? Do you remember that? To go come after them. So this could that should be in this story somewhere. Honestly,
absolutely should.
I don't even think about Lando half the time. Right? I'm always thinking about the three. Right. But Lando's here too, and Lando's kid's going to get taken too. So Lando's kid. So all this stuff should be taking place at some point. And coming after Ben makes total sense. Before he goes to Luke, and this is what's going to drive him to go to Luke.
Yeah. Yes. See, here's the funny thing, Chris, and like we sitting here as the fandom community and stuff, and we theory craft these things about intertwining the sequels, right, and making that sense. Like Kylo and Lando. Do you think Lucasfilm is doing that? Do you think that writing team is doing it, or are they just going off on Rebel season 5 and Thrawn and
but Rebel season, but remember all those characters are in Rebels. I mean, it's not like Filoni doesn't know. Yeah. Filoni's played with Lando already. Filoni's had Leia. Filoni's had he's even had Luke for 2 seconds.
But in their mind, are they like, we need to make the sequels tie in more?
Oh yes, Filoni.
I hope so.
At this part with Favreau and Filoni, and you do hear that stuff in the back of kind of Favreau and Kathleen kind of like going at it, kind of. Sure. And I'm sorry to say if you say that that's a rumor or anything like that, because you could see the physical stuff on those behind the scenes stuff. You can see him physically when she starts.
I don't think they're that much of a rumor, honestly.
Correct. To throw something in, you really see Favreau do that kind of shut down, like, okay, here she goes again. Honestly, I mean, when people talk and how they are when you're passionate about something. Him and Filoni know they're going on a good thing. She throws in her 2 cents. I'm not saying any of this because people don't realize what Kathleen Kennedy has done in the past. Right. They always just say now. Like, she does know, but I'm sorry, at this point, Favreau and Filoni know now. Right. They do. And if you give them a little bit more to put their input into stuff, it can work. And we definitely can see that they did not have input with this.
I feel if Kathleen Kennedy took over Lucasfilm as George Lucas's company, it would have been a different story. But I think she has the Disney umbrella over her head and other people trying to put their 2 cents in there where she has pressure. And then you have these creative teams that, I'm sorry, Jon Favreau, it was happenstance that he came in and this was success. It was a kind of a fluke. Rogue One was kind of a fluke. It was a side project that was just like presented. Okay, go do it on your spare time, and ended up being like one of the best Star Wars movies since Star Wars. And to me, that doesn't seem like they have faith in their main team. It's faith in these leftover Lucasfilm guys, right? That's coming back up. Dave Filoni, oh my God, I can't remember his name. Dave Filoni.
Just Filoni, bro. I mean,
there's
Filoni
some more guys.
Wars.
I mean, he's in charge of the thing,
study under Lucas. Filoni, I mean, Filoni is it. I'm sorry. And he plays it well with everybody. He really does. Favreau, the funny thing about Favreau is people don't know his history as well either. And that really trips me out. Because like Favreau started the Marvel stuff too. Iron Man. That is the first. He's not just happy. Like, those are his movies. I mean, and you get into his movies of what he does, it's not just a Star Wars nerd thing. This guy's make movies that everybody knows about. And the funny part is that was Jon Favreau,
right?
You know what I'm
Elf.
saying?
And he did Elf.
And that's my other go-to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It always is. And usually he just throws himself in there real quick like that, like kind of like a little nod to himself. I would do the same shit all the time. I don't even care.
Yeah, he's in all of them. On. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think what's great about Favreau too in being in Star Wars is that because I've seen the behind the scenes, he's not a knowledgeable Star Wars lore guy.
No,
but he understands story structure.
He is now.
He is now.
You can watch. I was going to actually mention that. I can't wait till the behind the scenes in June.
Yeah,
because each one you can see him getting a little bit better.
Getting more,
and every interview now he kind of when he's on the stage with John. Or with Dave, they kind of banter back and forth and argue about stuff, and it's kind of fun,
dude. Like he's taking it.
It's like he tries to challenge Filoni, and Filoni's just like, no. Yeah, but you can see him. But it's neat. So he's getting up there. He's studying it, obviously.
He's getting there, but he also trusts in the people he surrounds himself with, and so he surrounds himself with these awesome directors that came in, like Bryce Dallas Howard. These people who get it, right? That can, Deborah Chow. And Dave, and he like hangs
Rick,
out.
F your mama.
Yeah. So it's like he hangs out with Filoni, not Kennedy, right? It's the thing. Here's like I'm hanging around Filoni because the dude. This is Star Wars. So I'm gonna hang around the Star Wars crowd of this circle versus the Disney crowd, which I think, like to me, Kennedy's forced to. I think if she was on her own without that pressure,
take care of the Disney stuff like you're supposed to.
Yeah. And stay out their way.
Let us play, and you go ahead and nod to them and tell them we know what we're doing. Like, That's
why there are layers of management, right?
That's right.
You get to be the front lines. You do this. Let me worry about the numbers, give you some advice, help you out when you got problems, get rid of roadblocks. I'll speak to the uppers and give them a report on what you're doing, blah, blah, blah.
Pacify.
That's why you have layers. That's why you don't. That's why you can't have Kennedy talking directly to the writers and the directors. It screws everything up because then
I
your
think
message
they know
gets
this
mixed
now.
up.
Like I think they learned this, and like I said, I think like there's a lot of growth going behind the scenes on Star Wars, and ever since the 2015.
And as we say this too, it's not only them, as you threw in the directors, but it's also the actors, everybody behind the scenes. There is really people who are not just doing this as a job. Most of them, there's passionate people behind this. And that's the amazing part. I mean, from the actresses who play Bo-Katan to the Armorer, you see them everywhere now because of them. And they've done other stuff, but people see them as that, and they keep playing it up. They're still out there loving it. Paul,
they hype it up more than
takes over that. And he loves it too. Everybody from the stunt actors. We know it's not just always him in the Mando suit. It's these stunt guys, and they're getting their credit for it. Look at Paz. Paz was a great one, and we all tied to that one and couldn't believe that he was taken out like that. And we know that was just the actor themselves. So these people who actually all put this together are doing a great job as well of keeping our Star Wars what it is and hyped up, and everything they keep coming up with, I believe, is a collective. Well, all together. You know what I mean?
We're going to be very, very surprised come August when Ahsoka hits, and I think we're all gonna live in harmony once again.
You guys are gonna love it. Let me just say that. Okay?
You son of a
so good.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things.
I like Ernie right now.
August will be here before you know it, and then we can chat. And then,
I mean, but it's like there's there's things happening because Mando season 2 hit and it brought us all together because season 2 was like the epitome of like, we can do this stuff.
We think there was still a lot of negativity around 2 or 3.
2 season 2.
So 2, you're right.
Yeah. 2 was like like I said, we were all in harmony.
Yeah.
3 we started in a harmony, and then it kind of like people split.
It got thrown off, man. We had Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi in the middle, and it threw off the rhythm, right? And not everybody liked Book of Boba Fett. Not everybody liked Kenobi. I love Kenobi, but I know
I love Kenobi too.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Again, enhancement.
I think it's Kenobi to me is one of those series like we were living without it, so it was fine with not having it in it. But there was like I think having it is helping it more than hurting it. So Book of Fett to me, Ernie, just bear with me. Book of Fett, not having it was better for Boba Fett than having the Book of Fett in our repertoire now, because it hurts the character.
Well, we'll see.
Fandom turned on it.
Later.
The fandom turned on the
character
structure of how they wanted to present Boba Fett.
You know what I'm praying for is a drop at San Diego Comic-Con of go home tonight and watch Book of Boba Fett season 2. Like, they didn't even want to talk about it. They didn't even like hype it up like it's coming. Just okay, here you go. And they want to watch and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna accept this one? Let's see what happens.
That's
Lots
true.
more Fennec Boba helmet on. Let's see what happens.
We were on such a high for Book of Fett. Like, we were like that post credit scene, and when he came and blasted bit for tit, that was just like I turned around and go, I freaking love Star Wars like so much now. And I do have this special podcast coming up for Moochers Mondays about the should we less is more kind of stuff. Because should we have left it at that moment or have what we got? And,
you know what sucks about that moment? I was just thinking about, you know what? That was the most gangster thing Boba did. Then I'm all, who shot him? Didn't Fennec shoot him?
No.
Fennec just cleared the room for him.
Yeah. Fennec blasted the soldiers, Boba, because Bib was begging for, hey, you're alive.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought she pulled the trigger again,
and then he just threw him on the floor.
Okay, gotcha.
Fantastic.
I can't remember.
That was like,
Bib
oh
no
my
bala.
God, ruthless, man, ruthless, and for what we, So,
But the only reason I totally accept Boba Fett is because my ass is getting old too, and so I totally can agree with him on old man Fett.
Dude,
that's what I always call
him. He's trying to start his own business, prior to the end of his lifetime.
And you have young Fennec trying to tell him, just sit down. Let me go take care of it. Like all our kids do, or all our younger work buddies at work try and tell us, it's all right, man. Let me go in there.
Brother, she just looks young.
Oh, I know.
She looks young.
She just looks young.
Yeah.
Even character-wise, she's not. Yeah, she is great.
Yeah.
Yes, she's great at that. So let her and let old man Fett just sit there and thrive, because that's what I want to do. Yeah. I mean, and the whole announcing, I'm Boba Fett. My honey has to tell me. You already said that. You already said that. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. So yes,
Gordon is saying we need Boba Fett to get off Tatooine and explore some other worlds and mix some shit up. We got Williams, man. There.
My biggest thing for this Mandoverse movie stuff is we didn't get big reunions of all the cast, right?
Right.
So I kind of want that throughout the Mandoverse, but I want Boba more than anything to interact with either Luke or Han at some point, right? We already used Luke, so I need them to have some kind of reunion from the skiff. On that, because they're too big a play. Luke and Boba specifically were in the same vicinity at the end of season 2.
Yeah,
and that's why they kept Boba off the ship, so because he wouldn't be able to see.
I want him to turn to Han and say, "You killed me once, and it's not going to happen again." Yeah, you know what I mean, and it won't happen again. And then they have like some sort of face off or.
Oh, he said it with Lando. He's he let me get kidnapped. Yeah. Or he traded me to the Empire. He said we're all even.
Yeah,
we're all good.
And Boba's answer could just be because he paid more. Like, I mean, anything. Like, we always
know he's a.
That's why I always say that I love Boba Fett, because they're like, why do you like the bad guy? No, it depended on he made choices. He always made choices. So here you go. That would be great to see them back and have that conversation of whatever, just going back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm like leaving it. God, that'd be great.
I'm crossing my fingers that there's more Boba Fett coming. Like, I really do, no matter what. And it doesn't have to be put it in Ahsoka, put him in, you know what I mean? Put him in stuff moving forward or whatever. I know that.
I mean, he's popped up in.
I wonder if they'll ever
there right now. So.
Yeah, but I wonder if they'll ever just drop it on us like they did with the first book and not announce.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he was saying.
That's what I would love at Comic-Con.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I would love, seriously, for, I don't know what you would call it because they had chapters, but
book 2
Fett, whatever, book 2,
right?
chapter 9.
Yes,
chapter 9.
starting tonight on Disney Plus, and everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That it was
100%, dude.
That'd be cool.
Just coming. Like that. So. Well, we'll see.
That would be great. Just
fill up some space between now and then. Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
Vanilla Thunder saying, did you guys see what Tamara Morrison said about the book of Boba Fett? I don't know if he said anything recently, but I know he had like
different. Yeah,
some,
he had words about it.
Yeah, like hey, maybe they'll do me better this time, or maybe they'll write it better or something. If that's what if that's what you're referring to, anything new, then bring it up to us. I don't see.
And I think that was Tamora drinking on vacation as well too, and somebody
or just probably being cheeky about it, right?
Like, or he was being the one where he was being goofy about Mando being in his show or whatever.
Right,
you know, when he was playing around there, they got kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this is huge paychecks for these guys, right?
Of course.
Why would you backtalk now about anything? I wouldn't. I would say how that
they know they know the rules of the game.
A paycheck for Boba Fett the whole time. Like, you guys are so wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know what you saw, but I loved it.
Oh.
I would think Tamora Morrison's been making his living off of Star Wars since 2002.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like everything. You know, he's been at conventions since then.
Yes.
Living off of it, selling his likeness, selling his signature, selling everything since then. So I don't think he's going to back and got back into the, you know, he got paid for doing video games. He got paid for doing the voice work on the special editions. Yeah. He's getting paid for his own show and guest appearances. He shouldn't backtalk it unless they fired him. Like Finn, Boyega didn't say crap until he was done.
Until the NDA was lifted, kind of.
Yeah, Fett ain't. If Tamora Morrison ain't done, he's not going to talk too much shit. He is saying, and I do agree, got to get back to some kick-ass Boba Fett.
And everybody agrees with that. Everybody, like Nebulous D said,
that's a great statement.
Yeah.
That is that's a good statement to say. I want the kick-ass Boba Fett back.
That's it.
That's
and there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Because everybody raises their hand for that. Like me too.
Yeah.
You know?
He's going through phases, right? He tried to own his own business. It didn't work out. Guess what? He's going back to what he knows, kicking everybody's ass. You know, or just teaming with Mando, who's going to be working for the New Republic now and paying some money. Hey, come with me, get some coin. Let's go travel the galaxy together, homie.
Hey,
and I see that totally happening, even though that was with Carson Teva that happened. He's going to be pulling, and I feel that we are going to see Boba Fett as out there too. Hold on, my friend has a ship, or my friend owes me, or something to the effect.
Well, he's got a safe haven on Tatooine. You know what I mean? He's got a Boba Fett runs the town, so Mando knows this, and you know Pele Moda is there too. So it's like he knows that establishment. And it's changed. It's not run by the Hutts. It's run by a guy that basically owes him a favor at this point. You know, he owes Mando. So
see, I would have loved if Carson would have said, like, how are you going to do that? And Mando just said, I have a team.
Yeah.
Or something. You know what I'm saying?
Putting together
imagine the poster of it.
And then it goes into a montage.
Yeah. See, I always imagine, like, you have the Mandalorian, and you have Boba Fett, and you have IG-11 with Grogu in the center. And then you have Quill, and then you have Fennec, like that super bounty hunter team. That would be awesome. I know, Quill, like a lot of it. I imagined it. Like back in the day.
Gotcha.
I still that could still, not with Quill, but it could still happen with a team building.
Yeah.
You know how movies are nowadays and everything with that, and I don't care. So Quill's twin brother Pill shows up or something. You tried to save my brother.
They'll just put Jack Black in there. That's why. I still would watch it, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, Nebulous B is saying like it was Tim Morrison saying I'm talking too much. Morrison said in an interview with NME, this Bubba doesn't talk this much. I mean,
nice. Yeah.
Yes and no.
I get that. Again, not saying it like that, you know.
Yeah. No, I
don't even mind his talk. It's not even the talking, because he can talk in his helmet. It's showing his damn face, but it's you just get that with actors, right? I started going through the MCU stuff, even going through there. They have their masks off an awful lot, even when they're fighting.
Sure.
I'm like, come on,
Iron
you're
Man
fighting. Why
damn thing shielded?
Yeah, you're fighting. Put it down. That's your protection, dude. It happens all the time in these in DC too. Put your helmet on when you're fighting. It's weird. So, but they want to show the actors' faces because that's what draws. They think that's what draws people. It's not. You can put them all in badass helmets, and I'm going to watch.
Yeah,
probably like it more.
100%, dude. Yeah, man. It's. I'm hoping for, like I said, just a drop. Just boom, Book of Fett, like Ahsoka. Halfway through Ahsoka, we see Boba Fett season 2 coming in September. You know.
Yeah, I would love it too. I mean, we need that surprise. And then before we ended, I do want to go back to one thing, because this was in my head when Chris said about our 3. You've always had a 3 of something, right? So prequels ended up being Padme, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, right? That was kind of our three. Then
trio,
you have Leia, Luke, and Han, our three, right? Then we got Rey, Finn, and Poe. So would you guys want Poe back? Because I do.
Yeah, I like Poe.
In the Rey movie?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I like them all back.
I want those three back.
Yeah.
I do. I want him to be Jedi. I want her to something happen with Grogu, like we said, but the Yoda type. And Poe, I just want he seemed to get crazy there at the end. And we got some story on him. Remember, she said, "Oh, they don't know you smuggled spice," and
they made him the Han Solo character that the sequels were missing.
Correct, and he has a story in comics and everything.
Yeah,
but his actor, him being in Marvel, I enjoy Oscar Isaac, so I would love to see him.
Yeah,
because my favorite thing at the end is when he looked at Homegirl because everybody was hugging, remember, and he gave a look and she said no, and he. All right, I tried, and that's the last we saw.
That's a Han Solo moment, dude.
It really was, but it was awesome.
It was really great.
It was cool.
Yeah. So I would love Poe to even hop in, like in the movie of what are you guys doing here? I'm not okay. Whatever. Like,
it'd be an interesting shift too. Would you have if you had Rey and Finn as Jedi, and then Poe as their guide to getting places.
See, I'm still not bought in on Finn as a Jedi. I don't need it. Still don't need it. I don't.
Ever since I saw that fan art, though, I was kind of sold. I always get sold on fan art. You know what I mean?
I think they're just putting together because he was whining about it. I still think the marketing was
agree with
fine.
that.
I don't think it had to be a Jedi. I just...
Major
character? Sure. Han's not a Jedi. He's a major character.
Yeah. But breaking that cycle going forward, then you have the...
True.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He gets to be Leia and Rey gets to be Luke. And that's kind of how it works, So
Finn comes in on a metal bikini.
I'd still go see it.
I still go see it.
Yeah.
I'm all for Finn's story.
Let's see where this goes, guys. Let's see where this goes.
I'm all for the rogue stormtrooper that is infatuated with the woman that he met first. I'm totally... He latched onto her. He did a Rancor with its keeper, right?
Yeah,
the first person it latches onto, he is mind melded with Rey and needs to know where she is at all times. I like that. Yeah. I don't need him with force powers.
The Ubaldo had a great one too. Transformers as well.
I watch
these face shield that they do.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of shit on TV during the week because I also watched Bumblebee and Age of Extinction this week in the back.
Well,
Bumblebee was always.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's right. I don't need to see lips on Transformers. Stop trying to humanize everything.
yeah, that's hilarious.
Stop. I like that. I like
a good one.
Just do that all day.
We mentioned this before, and way back in the day, it was stop trying. And when it comes to not Star Wars, but other things like Transformers and stuff, stop trying to ground it in reality.
Yeah.
Give us high fantasy. If you're gonna do like a G.I. Joe movie, they should be all shooting lasers. They should be all jumping out of planes in the parachute. They should have over the top characters and not try to justify them.
Don't put them in the same uniform. That bugs me too. I told you I watched Retaliation.
Yeah.
They're all wearing the same thing. That's not how G.I. Joe is to me.
No.
G.I. Joe is a band of renegade good guys, right, to me, or the greatest of good, or
They're
whatever
a team,
the hell.
Man, dude.
They're a team, but they come in with their own personalities and their own stuff.
Each one had a specific job, skill, and character.
And look. But when you go in here, everybody from Roadblock to Duke to everybody besides Snake Eyes all look in their camo. And it's
like I said, I wish...
only Flint has camo.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, and as far as the
main guys in the cartoon, right?
But give us high fantasy, man. Like let's go. Let's do this. Bumblebee was a perfect example when they went to Cybertron. You saw the
dude,
and it was like a cartoon.
I'll just watch that opening.
Seriously,
yeah.
I'm like,
give us the opening.
Yeah. Why are we trying to ground stuff in reality? And this would really
after it's done, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
See, as soon as we get the Soundwave, Shockwave, Starscream shot right there, it's over. I'm good.
Dude, I'm waiting for if they ever did a live action a real live action He-Man, do it the way the cartoons are, high colors, over the top characters, boom, 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 and don't feel like you have to make it make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Star Wars was never like that. They had lightsabers, which is not something that's in physics. I mean, to a point, you know what I mean? Like high space travel, all that stuff. They didn't have to sit there and go, we have to make it make sense. We just put it on paper and made it work. This is what happens.
They even use things wrong, like parsecs and stuff, but it works. We don't have to explain things. We don't, it just works. Force works.
So I'm waiting for some Hollywood directors to actually have that, or studios, not directors, the studios to have the balls to kind of like go, we're going to do this and we're just going to make it like it is what it is. It's just a live action cartoon.
Yeah, we're going to hardcore Eternia.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I feel like Favreau's going to do with Ahsoka. I really honestly feel it's going to be a live action Rebels. When you go rewatch Rebels and you look at it, you're like, I can see them doing this in live action. You have to dumb down the action by a tad, right? The jumps have to be a little bit less, and the fights have to be a little less crazy.
Right.
You might not see somebody throw an AT-AT off of them or ATST off of them, but
right. Yeah.
For the most part, they're written. I can see how it'll work, and I'm like, they're just going to make a live action cartoon. Neat.
Yeah. Like I said, there should be a point. This is entertainment. Stop apologizing for it. Stop trying to make it make sense and just make it look good and
Especially
make it feel good. Yeah.
And then I hope Filoni sees that and goes, this is so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it makes more live action cartoon ideas that he had. That would be great.
He's like, I have so many storylines and for cartoons, live action. It's the same thing.
Yeah. You can make Tales of the Jedi live action.
Oh, dude. No, that would be too hard because you got to do so many things and so many.
That's a lot of resources
and I want that to go on forever.
I do
why do we not have one of those a week?
That should be a weekly serial. 52 episodes a year. Yeah,
forever. Just keep that going. Just give me Tales of something forever, and make this month is going to be all about X, and this month is going to be all about Y, and just keep going and going. And that would be. Dumbasses. That's
Get it together, guys.
Dude, could you imagine like after 2-3 years of that, how much content and cool shit there would be? Like an enormous amount of rad stuff.
Yeah. It's basically taking a Clone Wars episode and cutting it in fourths and just there's
about one person and then not even care about any continuity with anything beyond that. I mean, you do, but you don't. You're not continuing a story. You're just taking snippets of time in this person's life.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great show, dude.
There's a lot there to go by, man.
Yeah, but we need more of that.
All right. Well, with that, I think we can wrap it up this week, and hopefully we don't get any more sad news going on, and going in the future we can try to regroup and gather our thoughts and everything, and really get into Star Wars. Because again, I don't wish time away, but Ahsoka's only like 2 months away, so we're getting closer, man. And we still got Indiana Jones in a month too.
Dude, it's getting not
again
happy
bad week for
stuff.
Disney in general
And Lucasfilm, come on.
Yeah,
you see that, Ernie?
What?
It's not getting the most wonderfulest of reviews.
I don't care.
I know.
I'm going to go watch
it.
I don't. Yeah. I don't care.
Oh no, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah,
but
I want to be. I know. I look at it again. The age, guys. Yeah. Nobody in our age is the ones out there saying the review.
Oh no!
Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was.
Yeah, it felt like it. The positive ones were the nostalgic ones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it was all based on nostalgia. The complaints were the same, but they were giving higher scores on nostalgia. The Cannes Film Festival, right? I was talking to Marco about this before. I'm like, what kind of stupid article is this? He got a 5-minute standing ovation, like a quiet standing ovation.
Yeah.
I guess at Cannes, that's like the minimum. That's like you got a respectful Harrison Ford clap is what happens. Like a big movie, like they loved it. It's like a 20-minute loud roaring ovation. Like there's a different thing at Cannes, I suppose. Right. I don't know, right?
And it was 5 minutes of.
Yeah, I'm like, how stupid. He got a 5-minute standing ovation. Why are you saying he got a lukewarm reception? Then I read into it.
That's awesome.
I'm like, give me a 2-second standing ovation. So one person jump up and go, yeah, dude, and I'm happy. And this guy has a standing ovation for 5 minutes and it's lukewarm. But then you see the rest of it and kind of the history behind it, I guess. And you're like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
When it was really just going on in there, it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be in the mindset of Ernie, like, that I'm hoping that's just because of what they were trying to look for and how we enjoy.
My best thing is this. I just went and saw Fast 10 yesterday. 10. Yeah. I love the Fast and the Furious shows. I don't care how crazy it is or how stupid. Corinne, like the whole time, is like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yes." And it's badass. You're right. He just drove that car into something and save 50 people. It would not really happen, and I don't care it doesn't happen. I love these movies. Right. And so that's where I'm at with Indiana Jones, because I will take it for that too.
And that's what I'm hoping happens. And but it is a little harder with Indy. I guess Crystal Skull kind of opens it up, and the consensus is it's better than Crystal Skull.
Yeah, which is better for us.
Which is okay. And honestly, I've only got a couple gripes about Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
I'm still like Crystal Skull too.
Anyway,
I think Harrison Ford was a little extra Harrison Ford in the beginning of the movie. First of all, right, a little heavy-handed and everything, which is fine. Yeah. I think the swinging through the jungle was ape shit. I don't even necessarily hate the alien stuff because it's George Lucas and it's kind of and Spielberg, and that's kind of what they do. So,
well,
I can't even get mad at that.
just like the other stuff.
We're talking about ET and Star Wars and Gremlins, guys. You know what I mean? And I can't get mad at some space travel. We've melted faces with Nazi boxes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You had ghosts come and melts everybody's face, and it's supernatural stuff. And
we've had the cup of Christ, save and kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's over the top. That's
I can't even get
Indiana Jones, and so on paper was like, oh, that's awesome, but then the giant ants has really killed it.
The jungle, it was weird. Even the native folks in the jungle, it was all odd. I just didn't like that.
If they cut that side and what's his name, Butch or
I didn't mind his kid
his name.
Biff Buck
whatever his name was. See, that's how memorable he was. There's a lot of Marion, son. So anyway, we'll when that gets closer, I'm sure we'll do maybe a Beyond the Pit or something like that. We'll be be talking some indie. It's all in our veins, on the pit and everybody. So, So with that, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the pit. I'm gonna kick it off to Ernie as our favorite hype man and the Federation. Closing us out on this Wednesday of podcasts, the only ones that you should be listening to and watching.
Absolutely.
So
there's
Ernie,
50 things going on a Wednesday now. Thank you for choosing us.
Thank you.
Here. If you're looking for something to do before the Sarlacc Digest, come check me out 6 p.m. on YouTube on my channel, The Fallen Fett Chronicles. Today, Moocher jumped in with me. We had a great time. Good talk. Go catch all the replays and like that. And that's at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then you could just transition right into us. Go do your potty break, get some food, come in here, tell your friends to come jump in the pit and come join us, and let's theory craft. Let's jump in line. Let's talk some Star Wars, because we got 2 months until August for our next shows to come out. We got Comic-Con coming up. We should have stuff here able to talk about. Maybe that. Yeah. Come bring your friends over and let's talk about what do you think will be announced at Comic-Con. Are we going to get anything? Do you hope there's going to be merch? Do you think there's going to be news? What do you think is going to happen? So
Battle Droid Pop
on over. I hope you get that. I so do.
For your sake.
I really do.
I do. Once you get that Battle Droid Pop, I will finish Peacemaker. Let's go.
Wow.
Come on.
But you know what? You're just hurting yourself, Mooch. That's all. You're just hurting yourself.
Hey, maybe I've watched it already. Maybe I'm just messing with you.
You would have told me.
I'm really holding in those.
You would have messaged me right away.
I am on episode 7.
Oh, you're almost there, man. Just finish this.
Exactly.
What are you digging around for?
Because Big Bang Theory's on HBO Max, too.
I know, too. I'm like my 8th watch. Did you watch Young Sheldon yet?
Yes, I've started that, too. I did, because I was like, okay, I'm going to just watch the pilot again. And like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah,
that's why.
Pretty great. Yeah, it's pretty great.
But yes, I'll get there. Sorry, Ernie, go ahead. Go.
No. When you're not watching other shows, then catch the replays, of the Sarlacc Digest here. We got tons of content on there. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all so you don't miss when we go live, like a Moocher Monday or some of those reviews we throw out, or a Hot Topic podcast. We throw out lots of different shows out there. Go check it out. In the past, we have all that stuff there, and we got more content coming up, from reviews to everything. You can find us on all social media, from Instagram, Twitter to TikTok, and especially Facebook, with the Sarlacc Digest Central, a 24/7 Star Wars talk all the time. So go join over there as well. And you can catch us all on our own social medias at Darth Moocher, at Darth Dad, at The Fallen Fett, at The Artist Scott Solo, and at Bootleg Joe 760. And go see what we're about in our own private lives as well, too. Sometimes we post stuff, lots of the other crew. and everything. So go check them out. Remember, tonight's episode is being sponsored by the one and only Toshi Station Emporium. Go check that page out right now. The link is below there. Huge announcement with a great setup that just got released for orders coming up. Check this out. You can set up a blast door scene and add so much to it in your display.
So much.
Whether it be in your shelf, your toy photography, wherever you need it.
Back
These
to your car.
are awesome.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're not
on your desk at work.
Not going to tell you what to do with
this. The community that's involved in my Instagram and everything has hit me up tremendously today because I dropped those walls tonight. I just want to give a special shout out to everybody who follows us on the socials too, because all I've been getting is compliments on our presentation here at the podcast, and so many suggestions for the walls and things that I'm actually going to develop because the community said develop these things. So I'm so appreciative of all the feedback, negative and positive, but it's all constructive and to make better things. So from Toshi Station to Starlight Digest, thank you everybody for all the support and keep it coming, man. I love the interaction. That's really makes this makes me do these things because it's awesome. So I spent most of the day today talking to people because of those walls, and it was just fantastic. So productive. It's not even funny.
I have it back there set up with all of my Mandalorians. I have my space wall up there with my custom Carson Teva figure. Everything. You can use it for whatever you need. We're so thankful. We're going to give you a special discount. Use the code Starlight Digest and receive 10% off your order, and maybe receive a piece of Marco's beard in your box. Who knows?
Hey, man.
Who knows?
I guarantee you some people have my
yes,
some package.
Absolutely.
Marco's spreading his DNA all over the world.
Yes.
I said free gift with every purchase. And so
every purchase.
Little bit of you.
Yeah, we didn't know what. So he has those, but then, guys, he also has a tons more. I mean, from action figure stands for just your static pose to an action pose. It doesn't matter what you collect. Toshi Station Emporium has you covered. If it's turtles to horror figures to Masters of the Universe, we're talking anything, guys. Especially the big one right now that just went down at a Joe show, sold out everywhere, was the special G.I. Joe stands that he has. Go look it up right there on Toshi Station. Those should be coming back soon because they're all sold out because everybody has to have them.
I take off my shelves and ship them.
Those are back there too.
I'm going to have to go get yours, Ernie, and ship them.
Yeah. You let me know if you got to pick them up. Hey, money's money, bro. I know you'll replace it. So Toshi Station Emporium, again, it's down there in the comments. Check us all out. Again, on all social media. We got toy reviews everywhere from TikTok to here. Just stay connected with us. And if you can, go check out all the replays and stuff. We greatly appreciate all the help. Think about becoming a Patreon. Throw in those super chats whenever you feel necessary, because it does all help out to the production of the show, how you've been seeing that we've been changing it up and everything. Not only that, but we do special events and everything. So if you're just barely finding out about us, there's definitely a lot to get into. And then you have a lot to stay busy during the week as well, too. If you're into Toy Talk, I'm on Thursday nights with the Toy Migos. They're Not Dolls, or my own show, The Fallen Vet Chronicles. All the info's there down below. You can find us everywhere. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. We will see you next week.
And until next time, I love you, Ernie. I mean, keep it nerdy.
Oh,
yeah. Just kidding.
Keep it nerdy.